Welcome back to the Aftermatch. Come for the rugby, stay for the Aftermatch with Kirst Beav. We have talked about one person, or probably two. I would say Joe Rocks has had just as much airtime on this podcast as one Israel Dagg, a great friend of both of ours, wonderful All Black, legendary, some would say, Rugby World Cup winner. He can't stop laughing already. But
Did you mention cut down in his prime? With his legs cut down in his prime.
He was cut down in his prime.
Do you know, actually, I found and heard, I thought I knew everything there was to know about our next guest.
Oh, you found something out.
I found something more, and it's just, it's nothing new to me. It's just a little bit of spice on top of already a great part of the cricket story. Mm-hmm. Do you know, because everyone knows around the world that Israel Dagg used to be able to bowl over 140 clicks as a 17, 18-year-old. And everyone knows that he hurried up that all-conquering Australian cricket team that included all the names. And he hurried them up in the net session at McLean Park there before an ODI. What I didn't know, a twist in the tale is... And I heard it from the horse's mouth himself on another podcast, which was not important compared to the Aftermatch. Didn't have enough money for cricket shoes. He was bowling 140 barefoot. That is quite phenomenal, Kirst. So carry on.
Is that true, Israel Dagg?
Oh, g'day, team. Look, I didn't have a privileged life like Stephen Rex Donald. So
privileged.
It's fair to say that resources were limited in the Dagg household. He's on the money. I guess when I got older, I had people that supported me, but when I first played my first game of cricket, we're at Frimley Park in Hastings, and I turned up to do rep trials, and we didn't have shoes, so I only had bare feet, and I was running in on the cricket wicket in bare feet, and so I started my journey bowling in bare feet. But it's fair to say you've missed out one of the most important parts, Stephen. Obviously cricketing's been spoken about, the rugby, everyone knows about the rugby, but I don't think many know about my achievements in the car. Some may say the next Liam Lawson. When I drove the one and only Stephen Rex Donald around the south of France, Stephen. Don't you forget what I did for you, son. Hey?
Yes, I thank my lucky stars I'm still here today. But, Kirst, let's move on from, I guess, some of the rubbish that's coming out of our guest's mouth and get to the serious stuff.
Serious stuff. Well, I don't know about serious, but a few things to talk to you about. The Lions over the weekend. I saw this amazing picture, and you'll be able to give us an insight, Izzy, with Finn Russell and Andrew Goodman of Tasman Crusaders fame in a shot together. Jamison Gibson Park posted it, the brains trust behind the Lions. Tell us about Goody. What kind of coach was he? What made him so good? Do you, when they say the brains trust, is he the brains behind that operation and the style that they were playing?
Yeah, you'd have to say so when you've got a mercurial player like Finn Russell, arguably the best 10 in the world at the moment, and he plays with so much freedom. I actually messaged him and following on that first test because I was just so amazed with the time and the kind of swagger he has when he's playing the game. He doesn't look like he's flustered. He looks like he oozes time, with the ball in hand. When he passes the ball, it's so relaxed. He doesn't, just an absolutely outstanding player. And Andrew Goodman, I was lucky enough to be coached by him and played against Goody, actually, when he played for the Tasman Markle back in the day, and just seen his rise through the ranks, coached Crusaders, went over to Samoa, he's gone over, he's coaching at Leinster, and now he's with the British and Irish Lions, following on from being with Ireland. So it's such an awesome moment for him. I think his greatest strength is, it's a comment that's thrown out a lot, but it actually resonates with Andrew Goodman, is the care, the way that he cares about his players.
Did you, just to back it up, did you say that you text Finn Russell?
Yes, you're a bit of a fanboy moment, eh? Well, no, so following that test, I was just so amazed with Finn Russell, and I just had it in my head, and I don't know what you guys think. I was just thinking, man, is there a better player in the world at the moment? So following that performance, I just gave him a follow. He followed me back, and then I just had a conversation with him. I just said, mate, playing unbelievable. You guys are absolutely flying, and you're a big part of it, so keep it up. Yeah, I was a bit of a fanboy. I'm a fan now, so I can,
I just never got that support from Israel Dagg throughout my career. I just wish I'd had that sort of fanning from afar, but... Hey, Izzy, if we can look a little bit closer to home, the NPC starts this weekend.
Go the horse.
I know. I was going to touch on it. That competition that you and I both love. Talk us through Flinders Farm, of course.
Flinders.
Is it Flinders? What's
Flinders Farm, Steve.
Flinders Farm.
It ain't a farm, mate. It's fun.
Oh, I've always thought it was a farm. So that school you went to in Hawke's Bay, what was it like playing for the NPC Magpies straight out of there?
Scary, Beef, to be completely honest. I was at a school that we were known for our rugby. You know, I got sent
farming. It was a farming school, wasn't it?
I got sent there to better myself academically, and that obviously went nowhere. But man, it was scary. I was watching these guys, Roy Kenny Lau from Waikato, Stephen Rex Donald, Mills Muliaina, a Richard Kahui, all these players from Waikato, and then there's this young guy from Lindisfarne College still in his 7th form, about to take on these full-grown men with beards and goatees galore. I'll never forget, who was it? Justin Wilson. You remember Justin Wilson, the Sevens player?
Yep, Sevens player.
Juddy was good mates with a lot of your Waikato mates, and I remember we were building up for a big game in the Hawke's Bay, and Juddy comes up to me, and I'm only still at school, and he goes, bro, I just got a message from the boys at Waikato, and I was like, oh, yeah? What'd they say? They said they're going to pepper you all day. And this is my own teammate coming up to me. And I just remember him telling me that, and I was absolutely packing myself. So
I can't actually even remember you rating a mention in the preview, so maybe Juddy was having you on there. So
it wound me up. So I don't know if you remember that game, Beav. Quarterfinal, Hawke's Bay, stacked team.
Yeah.
When you come down the road and your cowbells. It was a beautiful afternoon in McLean Park, and we won. Remember that?
Yeah, that was 2007, and no, I've actually forgotten completely about that. I've completely wiped it from my memory. Hey, Izzy, I like an idea, and you and I both love the NPC. I've got an idea, and I want you to give it a yay or a nay from a All Black who was a regular starter and played a lot of games. Because I, as an All Black who just wanted to play rugby, would love this idea. But you, obviously, regular player. So talk to me. I think every NPC, we should have what they call an All Black round, where the 35 All Blacks, in a break where there's 3 or 4 weeks off for them, we just designate a round every year. It's already circled, and it's called the All Black round, and they just have to play. And you could imagine what it would do having 35 All Blacks in the NPC. Thoughts? Can you get them behind it? Can we get the petition started?
Yay. Yay, B.
It's a yay for you?
It's a yay.
It's a yay.
Yeah.
And for me, I absolutely love NPC. How good is it this week? We got 7 games of rugby, and the love that they have for their provinces. I just think something like that, B, would bring back the interest. The fans would follow, and how good would it be to see our All Blacks we very rarely see playing in their provincial colours. So I'm yay, brother. I'm yay.
And it's not a chore, is it? You played a lot of All Black games. It wouldn't have been a chore for you. You've almost felt it as almost a nice, relaxing freshener up.
I don't think it's a chore, and I think they actually miss out on an opportunity a lot to be able to go back and represent. How good is it to see Dalton Papali'i wearing the County Whanako colours this weekend, playing on a Sunday, a Hawke's Bay lad going back and putting the black and white hoops on. I think it's very important to the ecosystem of New Zealand rugby that a lot of these players go back, give back to their provinces, get them out in the community. There was no better feeling than myself, Bryn Evans, who's in the All Blacks at the moment, or current players that were playing Super Rugby, going back to the unions, the regions, and how much happiness it put on people's faces, getting out to the schools and doing some promotional work. I can only see it as a positive, Beef, but hey, there's a reason why they don't. They play about 300 games a year, and but I think it'll be needed for this comp.
Speaking of All Blacks, Daggy, a couple of your greatest hits. We want to relive them, but before we get into ours, your favourite memory in the black jersey? What's your favourite moment that you were a part of? Aside from the 2011 World Cup final, what is it?
So there was an opportunity in 2011. I was coming back from a major injury, and there was basically only one game that I was given for the All Blacks to come back. I played a club game, I played for Hawke's Bay 40 minutes, and then we flew over to Port Elizabeth. I'd say that will probably be the most memorable game, not from a result point of view, we actually got in hiding, but just the limited amount of time. I was only 20 years of age. I was so hungry and desperate to make that World Cup, and I went over there and produced the results and got the goods, and then finally got selected to go on and play a World Cup at home. And that was actually the game when it was crazy. Piri Weepu turned up to the stadium and he forgot his jersey. I'll never forget it. He runs on the field. If you find some footage of it, look at Piri Weepu. He's wearing like a 6XL jersey. And his baggy is swimming on him. And that was the game that I'd probably consider one of my most memorable, just because didn't have much time to try and get to a place where I wanted to be a part of a World Cup.
Now, Dagger, obviously, that was a wonderful memory, and so much, I guess, grabbed the limelight in 211. Now, something else that happened in 211, we're called the Aftermatch, and yourself and a few other great friends of the Aftermatch here had a pre-match. Talk to us about having a pre-match and then putting in the performance of a lifetime. Talk us through the sort of pressure you felt after the infamous front page of the New Zealand Herald the day of the quarterfinal.
I've never felt so small in my life, Stephen. Honestly, I've never felt more bad, a horrible human being than that moment on a Sunday when I walk into breakfast and Wayne Smith's sitting at his table by himself, hasn't heard a thing. I do not know how none of it has crept through his doorway. So the headline's Jane Booze Binge, and then he's reading it and he's going, Jane, where's Israel? and obviously go down and I'm a part of this horrible situation. Oh, look, it was, it was one of the most silliest things I've ever done. But then I look at it from a point of view, it actually galvanised the group, Stephen.
Yes.
Put a lot of edge on the group, brought the group even closer together if they weren't close enough, and found a way. But look, horrible situation. Never ever want to experience that again. And look, there's only one way you can rectify it, and that's going out there and putting out a performance. And I was nervous. I nearly got dropped, and if it wasn't for Mills getting injured, I probably would never have played again that year. So he got injured in the quarterfinal in his 100th test. In the semi-final week, I was the only option, and I got selected to play. And obviously that semi-final, Corey Jane and myself played unbelievable, and I've never been more nervous. I don't think I ate much. I was worried. I was like, we cannot lose because I will be blamed solely for the loss of a Rugby World Cup in our home country. And then, following that test match, got ridiculed by Wayne Smith. I thought he'd come and give me a pat on the back. He come up and threw a Powerade at me and said, drink it. And fair to say that was the only thing he said to me. and then we got berated in a team meeting because you turned up the final of the week.
I turned up for that meeting, That was the highlight of my week.
Were you at the meeting?
I was at the meeting, yeah.
Well, you'll probably be able to explain it because I didn't say much. I was just sitting there getting berated.
It was just good to be at one of those meetings where the bullets aren't coming at you.
Your way to bring up the demons, Daggy, but it actually turned into one of the most iconic moments. Talk us through that try as a 21-year-old that you set up in the semi-final against Australia. One of the greatest try assists of all time. I'm calling it now.
Yeah, look, I relive it daily.
With the help of our friend YouTube.
It's fair to say
least you're honest.
Most watched clip on YouTube in my house. Well, look, it was so fluky. I don't know how it happened. I don't know what happened. There wasn't any plan. There wasn't any structure. Beaver would know too. Like, the game is so structured now. Like, it's over-structured. But you think back to then, Beaver, we didn't have all those 1-1, 1-3-3-1 setups or whatever. It was just around the corner, players in motion, try and create a mismatch, and then let your athletes go to work. And that was the kind of situation there. I was under pressure. My first moment in the game was a quick line-out throw. I got the ball. There was no way I was passing it. I did a little dummy. I made a wee break. And I guess I'm one of those players that get a bit of confidence early. Stick with me if you can, because I'm just going to go and have a crack. So that moment eventuated for me and just opened up. It all happened really fast. I didn't even... Do you want to know the funny thing? I didn't even see Ma'a. I didn't even know Ma'a was there. 100%, I'm not, no word of a lie. Like, the easier option would have been, don't try and goosey Quade Cooper. Actually, just draw him past the Ma'a would be the easier way to score the try. But no, I tried to be a hero and go around him, and obviously nearly went out. And I didn't even see him. I was actually just throwing the ball in. And then kind of when I went like that, he was kind of there, so I just left it up there, and Ma'a scored, and typical Ma'a. Gave someone an elbow that jumped on. I think it was Anthony Fainga. And we jotted back to halfway. But the best half by far I've ever played. Like everything I did, everything I touched was turning to gold. I was that confident in that game. I actually tried to do a 20 drop kick from the 22. And I shanked it. And then they caught it and kicked it down the other end. And we were back under our posts under pressure. So that was the one and only time I had a crack at a droppy. But yeah, pretty special game, team.
Just one other thing from me. I'm sure Beav's got other things to ask, but fast forward a week and this guy next to me becomes the hero of the nation. How did that go down post-match after you'd won the Rugby World Cup, after you'd done your confetti angels on the field, after the outward celebrations in front of the public are done? Like, what was Beaver hero inside that team? What was going on?
No.
Well, I'll never forget the moment in the showers, actually. I'll never forget the moment in the shower. I was having a shower with Beav, and I was a never nude. So, obviously had my jocks on, because it's fair to say, Beaver! There's a reason why they call you the Beaver. Anyway, that's enough of that chat.
Oh my God.
It haunted me for life, Stephen. Anyway, sorry. Stephen, do you know what, bro? Like, you're one of my best mates. I love you, and you're a hell of a man. I've never told you. I've never really shared this, but you went through a horrible time in 2010. And the scrutiny that you were under, the expectations, people from the public, and throwing chat at you and treated you in a way that now I look at it. I was like, man, that must have been horrible for you, for your family, and so on. So in that time, when all our tens kept going down because of what had been said in the past, and I didn't know you back then. I'd never played with you. I probably got caught up in it too. Like I probably started thinking, oh no, like what's gonna happen here, and so on, and then you ran on at half time, and we were in a moment in that game. We're under pump, we're under pressure, and we were so nervous, and we were just worried that potentially the unthinkable was going to happen. And because I was in that mode, I was thinking, oh shit, here we go. Stephen Donald, a guy that has been ridiculed, spoken about, people call him a horrible player. What's going to go on here? And then that quickly changed in like 2 minutes. I remember that first moment you got the ball, nothing on, and you made that break. I know you may know that break. You made that break, little show and go. You ran about 20 metres, and that 40 minutes changed the way that not only New Zealand, but me looked at you as not only a person, but a player, mate. You changed that game. You flipped it on its head, and I was just so proud, man. So happy that from where you were, not only a year ago, and to be able to go out there and walk towards that challenge, unbelievable. And I just wanted to say and apologise for getting caught up and thinking that. In that moment, I was getting caught up and thinking, oh shit, here we go. And you come out there and produced an absolute performance and won us the game single-handedly. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share about that moment. And that final one, obviously made a movie. He's made millions out of it. So well done.
Well, I'm a travel host with yourself as well. So It's had its fringe benefits.
This has been like a therapy session. You've both brought up each other's worst moments and then turned them around into a positive.
Absolutely. Well,
I just wanted to share it because it must have been a difficult time for you, Beav, It's crazy how you can just get caught up in like media and so on. We've been in the media. We're in the media. We know, but never talk about a book before you've read it. And I just thought you were unbelievable in that final and the way you handled yourself in a difficult situation.
Yeah, I think now we're in the media too. I think we both take that into consideration of what we do, and always try and look for the positive in things and the positivity around the game and what have you. So, there's very fine line between judging someone on their performance and then judging someone as a person, isn't there? Yeah. So I think the good thing is we've been through it ourselves in different scenarios, and we can now make a positive change, I think, in the way that the game is reported and talked about.
Yeah, totally.
Izzy, we told you this would be 10 minutes. It's been about 35. We could talk to you all day, and we know you could talk to us all week probably. But we thank you for coming on the program. As we say, you've been a big part of it from the start.
Yes.
No, I appreciate it. Hey, you guys doing a wonderful job, honestly. Two of the greats. Love yous heaps. So thanks so much for having me. And, anytime you want to chat, just reach out. Easy as.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you, Israel.